Know where you're coming from. Tell me where everyone's coming from today. If you have any great victories that we're celebrating. We'll wait just a couple more minutes to see, or another minute or so, and then we'll get started. All right, we got North Carolina, Alabama, Sacramento, Los Angeles. All right, Los Angeles. We got a lot of Los Angeles coming in. California is coming through strong today. Fresno. Good to see everyone. All right. Well, it's 9:02, so let's go ahead and get started. My name, for those of you who I've not met yet, my name is Jamie Deavy. I started on my journey back at the beginning of the year, and I originally did it to just feel better. I was miserable. I had a baby and had put on all sorts of weight, and I could not keep up with this little 1-year-old that was driving me crazy. And then I had an older son that was graduating high school because I have quite a span there of children. And I wanted to look good at his graduation. I didn't want to hide behind people in the pictures. You know how we all move people in front of us to hide ourselves. So I set out to lose 30 pounds in about 5 months. And as you all know, this program is amazing. And not only did I lose the 30 pounds, I ended up losing almost 60 pounds by the time that graduation rolled around. So I was all hands on deck with this, loved it. I had to share it with the world. I mean, this was the easiest thing I had ever done. It was a wonderful program, as most of you know. And so I started coaching, and that has been even more rewarding, watching others reach their goals and just hearing how it's changed their lives and how much better they feel now and how much better their lives are going is such a reward, and it is not a gift that I want to give back. So I will continue coaching and loving on all my peoples and loving being here with this community. So today we are talking about element 16, which is dealing with addictive foods. We're going to go ahead and explore the dangers of these addictive foods. We're going to identify our personal susceptibility to these and how they affect our lives. And then we're going to reinforce that importance of using that portion control plate system that can help us combat these foods. You know, our society is saturated with unhealthy, ultra processed foods. They're so easy to come by. They're portable, cheap, available for every occasion. They're there for us when we're under stress. They're there for us when we're having emotional breakdowns and issues. And they're there for us when we're bored and we're just popping things in our mouth. These foods give us that quick fix. They give us an immediate, however short-lasting pleasure sensation. Let's take a moment and learn as to why these toxic non-food substances should be treated just like cocaine and heroin. We need to kind of view them in the same way because much like these drugs, the refined sugar and flour, they create an instant pleasure, but they result in dire consequences with our health and well-being. We can find these refined sugars and flour in almost everything on the market, in breads, cereals, crackers, cookies, cake, pizza dough, anything you can think of, they're there. The average American eats about 10 servings of refined grains each day. When you multiply that out, that leads to over 150 pounds of this stuff per year that we are consuming. These foods are highly addictive, and we must eliminate this toxic food in order to reach that healthy weight, that healthy goal that we are all attaining for. In fact, if you've had a weak moment while you've been in your phase one and you've sampled a couple of these things, kind of fell off, you might notice that after you've eaten them, you didn't feel too good. They give you a nasty feeling after you've had some clean eating. And you can see that these are not good for us, and our body's telling us that. These toxic foods cause an insatiable hunger and cravings, and this is what leads to that loss of control that we many times find when we're trying to control what we're eating. Now, our fat cells, they're releasing every time we eat a hunger suppressant hormone. This is called leptin. This hormone tells your brain you are no longer hungry. This is how we are able to stop eating. However, research has found that as we're taking in insulin, as we're taking in these foods that are then producing more insulin, and that insulin level rises, our response to eating that sugar and flour is being blocked. So that insulin is blocking that hormone, and now we're no longer able to suppress that hunger. That's why we're able to sit there and eat a full bag of chips or eat a whole tub of ice cream, because it's blocking that sensation of, hey, hold on, we've had enough. That's what makes this stuff so dangerous. These refined foods have actually flipped our metabolic switch. So if we get an urge to eat any of these items, we need to remember we need to stop, challenge, and choose. If you still have that urge after you've stopped and taken a moment, go grab a fueling. Try to satisfy that craving with one of your fuelings, because that'll be the best possible way of not falling into that temptation. Remember, this is not psychology, it is biology. It is a hormone that turns our brain on and off that, hey, we're hungry, and hey, we're not hungry. We need to make sure we're not working against our bodies. This refined sugar and flour, it's creating this addiction. And because it affects the brain, just like cocaine and heroin, if we were eating this stuff and they took an MRI of our brain, our receptors are lighting up in that pleasure and reward section. That's exactly what these drugs do. And because it releases then that dopamine, that creates this pleasurable feeling. That's why we're so happy when we're eating these snacks and all these bad things for us. But then it's going to lead to a desire for more. And as we desire more, our body's going to then need more to reach that same dopamine level. And that's where we then lose control, because now we can't control this craving that we're having. But then that leads to depression. Now we have these depressed feelings because that dopamine level dropped. We have a lack of energy, and we're missing those sugar rushes. So now that we've kind of figured out, the danger of this, we need to identify the cues, like a simple TV commercial. These can trigger these cravings, and on a subconscious level, we are actually going to then go out looking for those foods. Our society is full of all these cues all over. And so it's important that we know and find out what our personal level of risk is, to avoid falling into these temptations. So let's go ahead and identify what our personal level of susceptibility is, which is our degree of risk. We need to figure out if we have high, moderate, or low susceptibility. There's a quiz on page 322 that we can each take, being very honest with ourselves to figure out what is our level. Now, the more boxes that you choose that are marked daily, the higher risk you're going to be. So once we've done that, if you are at a high risk, we need to avoid eating any sugar or refined flour. Part of that being at a high risk, high susceptibility is actually genetically predetermined. A combination of our genetics and environments will put you at an increased risk. It's similar to like alcoholism. So if you are at this high risk, it is critical that you avoid any kind of sugary or starchy foods. You're still going to be able to eat the whole fruits and different, different foods like that. However, we have to avoid, like for instance, we can eat whole fruits, but we need to avoid eating processed fruits, fruit juices, canned fruit, anything like that. We have to stick to that low glycemic and green coated foods. Now, those who are moderate to low risk, they should still be cautious because this stuff is still addictive. There's hidden sugar in everything. So we need to review our labels when we're looking at things to eat. Make sure that we're not consuming a lot of this. And remember, if you can avoid stimulating that hormonal metabolic switch that stimulates that insulin level to rise, then we will allow the leptin to signal to our brain that we are full. And it allows our body to then function properly and tell us that. By avoiding the sugar and flour, we stop those wild surges of dopamine rushes that create those cravings and that loss of control that we are trying to avoid. Another way to help us stay in control, like we said, is learning how to use that portion control plate system. This helps us to avoid excessive calories, and the use of the color coding charts helps us to make sure that we're avoiding those high glycemic foods. We need to utilize that stop, challenge, choose. We need to make sure we're doing that, especially when we feel emotional tension, excess stress, or the extra stress that we have, or any other potential triggers that might send us over the deep end. The world around us is working against us. It is presenting a very difficult environment for us to eat healthy on a daily basis. So to overcome those issues of that modern life that we're in, we need to use our system, use our tools, our skills, our guides, and especially our community. We have a whole range of things for us to make sure that we are successful. We need to practice daily. We need to use our daily logs, our weekly and monthly trackers, work hand in hand with our coaches, and especially we got to have our life book, our guide. This keeps us on track. By installing these habits and making sure that you are following this, you're going to have that freedom to build your optimal health. That is what I was able to gather from this element. I would love to hear from the rest of you. Does anyone have anything that they pulled out that they'd like to share? Any takers? All right. Miss Daniels, go ahead and come off mute.
It's so true. You get emotional, you have these emotional issues, and you go to the refined sugar, you go to the refined flour, and you eat that, and all you do, you just want more and more. It doesn't satisfy you. It's just like a vicious cycle. You just want more and more. And when you're finished eating all that, then you have that on top of the issue. So if we, like you said, if we stop and think, then we can choose a fueling, and it does make it work. It does make it better. Isn't that right, Stan?
That was perfectly said. They had that little commercial with I think it was gummy bears, and the little kid was like, I just want more and more and more. That's how I feel. We just want more on top of it. So true. So true. Anyone else have anything? Carol, go ahead and come off mute, please.
First of all, I just want to say that you killed it. That was absolutely awesome. And I really don't have any big major takeaways other than what you've already said because you covered it for sure, for sure. I just think this particular element is so, so good. And I wish we had everybody, all of the clients, would just really sit down and think about this because it makes a huge difference if you understand where you are and your level. It makes a difference. I think it's hilarious on page 322 when it says TV commercial stimulates your subconscious level and to the point that you'll drive through a snowstorm. Girlfriend, I haven't gone through no snowstorm because we don't have snowstorms in Tampa, but we've been through some rain. Yes, we have, because we gotta have it. And I get it. I mean, it just makes so much sense now, right? So anyway, I just thought that was awesome. You did amazing. And this element is so, so good. So we need to make sure everybody gets replays for sure.
Thank you, Carol. Yes, these foods are so addictive. We'll go through anything to get that craving. So true. Stanley?
Yeah, great job, Carol. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm saying Carol because she just finished speaking, right? But Jamie, excellent job. Yes, Blasi, you hit it right on the nail. I'm just going to say this element is perfect. This is a great element to consider, especially if you've been on a journey for a while, or if you're just starting, because now you know what to look out for, right? Sometimes we get to that point where we get comfortable, and now we're in this place where, okay, I'm feeling more confident, I feel good, I look good, and your mind starts to think about these types of foods because for some reason you just seem to be around it a lot more now. Right. In the beginning, you kind of cut it out. You're away from it, but now you're feeling good. You've made progress on your journey. And for some reason, I don't know why, you're just in this arena where all of this bad food is, right? So, this is a great element to really go over. And for me, it was a reminder, you know what, because in the end of it, it says sometimes it might get to a point where we just need to reach out to our coach. So Sylvia, I'm going to be calling you when it gets heavy and when I'm having a hard time and struggling and I want that bag of Cheez-Its, guess who I'm calling? So anyway, this is a great element. Thank you, Jamie, for handling this for us.
Thank you, Stan. Elizabeth, come on off mute for me.
Yeah, I thought you did a great job with that element there. And I really enjoyed the why we could crave certain things. It's really good to explain that why to our clients of like, it's not your fault why you crave it. It's because you were conditioned this way. And once they, like you said, that sugar creates that, it's like cocaine, lights your brain up like that. So they have to go through withdrawals. I myself, like, oh, I feel like I need that. But then once you break it, I literally now can't eat or drink something that has sugar. My body says, no, thank you. Can't take it anymore because I'm so used to eating clean. You go to eat something or drink something, you're like, nope, that's too sweet for me. I don't want it anymore. You literally don't crave it anymore. So you hit the nail right on the head for that. And I love that it's not psychology, it's biology. So it makes sense.
Yes, ma'am, you said it. I loved that piece too. It's just biology. We need to work with our bodies, not against it. Miss Barbara, go ahead and come off mute.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Jamie. It was very good information. Actually, I was going over it with a client last week, but I have read it previously under the cravings and addictions that with these refined sugars and flours, it's just like cocaine and heroin. And we know how we view people that's on drugs. We put our nose down with people on drugs, but we feel to do not do anything, and sugar is doing the same thing. So it's addictive, it's a drug. And I explained that to some of my clients that it's doing the same thing. So why is it that you would put your nose up at somebody that's on cocaine? Why would you do that when and I spoke to some that even said that they would take a Uber to get what they wanted, and the Uber ride was more expensive than what they was going out to go get. So tell me if that's not some kind of crack cocaine, some kind, some type of drug that you're running to get, but we don't look down on that. It's just like, we're just feeling this way, that way. I need that sugar. But just like they need that crack cocaine, they would do anything to get it. So when I feel that way, and it's not too often, but if I do, I just remember that, hey, wait a minute, why I question myself, why am I feeling this way? If it's some kind of emotional, am I going through something? Am I under stress? I try to figure out why. And then, as was mentioned, I'll go get a fuel in. I have my water, I'll go to the park. I do things to try to eliminate that, but knowing that that's what it is, that my body's craving that because I'm under stress. And like you said, that's what they show on TV, right? When they, especially the women, we go in the movies, what do? They break up with their boyfriends. They go to the kitchen, to the freezer. They get a pint. No, no, not a pint. They get a gallon of ice cream. They sit there and they eat that. So as was mentioned, we're being taught that at the movies. Same way. When we go to the movies, we have to have what? Popcorn, candy, cookies, everything. All our little childhood things we have to go get. And then if we run out of it before the movie's over at the theater, where do we go? We go run back in that line, go get some more so we can have that. So, I mean, this is a very powerful chapter, and you brought it out very well, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Those were some great gems. I appreciate it. Ina, you want to go ahead and come off mute?
Yes, I'm one that indulge. I tried to, I guess when I got out my 200s, I was relaxed. I said, well, that little bit ain't gonna hurt me. So I passed by the donuts. Oh, I love donuts. I passed by them. Then I take my cart and look at them again, stare at them. And then I don't know how they got home with me. I don't know. But I did it. I failed. And you feel awful after you eat it. You feel so bad, like you're going to get a whooping or something. I'm serious. Like, I'm going to get a whooping. So, yeah, it's a challenge. I got out of my 200. I don't want to go back. I'm in my 90s, finna leave that in a minute if I stay right on track. I don't want to fall off the bike, but I did. I'm going to try not to do it again.
You know what, Ina, knowing your why and keep it going. You'll be fine. Sylvia? You still there, Sylvia? Not sure if she can come off mute. All right. Do we have anyone else while we're waiting to see if Sylvia can come off mute? Misty, you want to go ahead and join in?
Yes, I really appreciate this topic. I'm 31 years old and I'm hypoglycemic, and so I was actually kind of worried that the food wasn't going to sustain my sugar, but it has brought me so much energy. And I work nights, and just to have to come home and think about my daily tasks, I would just sleep all day. But now I'm able to sleep a couple of hours, get up, have the energy that I need. And I like how in the book it said if you eat the right foods, you're going to sustain a healthy strategy. So, my strategy is to continue to try to be consistent. And the first couple of days was it was extremely hard because I had a migraine. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even believe it. But I'm past the migraine. So if I can stay in that zone and not try to take any sugars, then I think I'm not cheating myself. And that's the point. I'm not cheating myself. I'm not cheating my body out of, something that is beneficial to me. So I'm truly grateful for that.
Love it, Misty. Thank you. Not cheating yourself. I like how you worded that. Sylvia, are you off mute now? Can you come on?
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
I'm so jazzed about Misty's share. That was so good. Yeah, boy, and the way that you fought through your body detoxing, and now you're on the other side, that lets us know that, yeah, there's hope. Because honestly, Jamie, man, you nailed the presentation. I'm so glad that this is recorded because your voice is so soothing. You make me feel like I can do anything. Whatever Jamie said. Now I have Jamie, you're going to be like the person in my ear and on my shoulder. So I'll be quoting you. Well, don't do that because Jamie said. But one of the things that you really brought out that stood out outside of what everybody else shared was the value of our life book. You know, when we first started, our coach brought out to us that there are 4 components, and all of them are important. But the value of sticking to and really referring back to your life book was really brought out to us because you brought out all the information today and you shared with us masterfully the value of that. So, yep, stick to your coach. Definitely adhere to the fuelings, but your life book, your Habits of Health Transformational System, and here, stick this as a rock in your calendar. Barbara is my coach. And from the first week, it was not even a question with her. It was, so we meet on Monday and we meet on Tuesday, and she gave me the time and the code, and that was it. It's not even an option. This is what we do. The next component that we talked about was the value of accountability, and that's the coaching aspect. Because when we're sharing this with somebody else, then what does that help to do? It helps to keep us accountable, and also we're building those around us so that we can have our a nice amount of community and support all at the same time. So this is really the gift that keeps on giving. We learn, we share with others, they share with us back and forth. So it really is awesome. So congratulations to everybody. Ina, you are not failing. You are thriving over there. You and that donut man, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the donut shop to put you on blast. Like my donut man, I said, if you see me show up here, call the popo. Don't stop. Don't let him hang out. You move me away. So I'm gonna go and put your donut man on blast and tell him, you see this pretty little face? Don't let her stop here. Keep her pushing. All righty, y'all have a good night.
Oh, Sylvia, it's always wonderful hearing from you. That was wonderful. Ricky, go ahead and come off mute.
Well, that was very good, Jamie, and everybody else's comments have been right on point this evening. I really appreciate them. The one that really got me this week was the one on about the TV commercial, because we down here, I don't know whether you guys get it, but been getting this TV commercial about Wendy's and Reggie Bush and that big old pretzel burger with the cheese and the bacon and all that kind of stuff on it. Well, this been bugging me for a couple of weeks. And so I had to take my grandson to Wendy's today because something he wanted. So anyway, I broke down and bought the pretzel burger. Anyway, I don't know whether it's because Reggie Bush is so cute or whether it was the pretzel burger. Anyway, I didn't eat it, though. I gave it to my son, but I just had to buy it. But anyway, also, when I get tempted by different things that I see other people eating, like if somebody is eating cake or somebody is eating ice cream, then I try to find, or chips, I try to find something that is similar in the box. So like if you're eating cake and I want some real bad, then I'll go make me a brownie. And then I use that Ready Whip on top of it to make it real luscious. It's only like 7 calories. So I said, well, that'll be my cheat, was be the Ready Whip on top of my brownie. Or I'll have some of the little chippy things, or I'll make myself a big old shake and put a lot of ice in it and have ice cream. So all those things, it's a way to get around everything and have almost anything that you want.
Thank you so much, Ricky. Man, we're having 21 confessions here. Everyone's telling their bad things. Mine's pizza. Those pizza commercials, that gets me. Well, thank you all. We have hit that 9:30 mark. So James, I am going to hand it back to you. Thank you everyone for your comments. We appreciate it.
Wow, this was good. So good. Everybody, can we please throw some love in the chat? Let's give Jamie some love. Thank her for so elegantly, I don't know if that's a word, gracefully, and just sharing this element. She really made it come alive. For me, really made this element come alive. And then all the comments too after that. So appreciate everybody for sharing. You guys throw some love in the chat for Jamie and for those that shared. So good. I love our program. And I honestly, not only because I coach it, but do believe it is the best program in the world, because we have literally everything we need to be successful. I mean, the way Dr. Anderson wrote this life book and all the stuff Jamie was talking about and breaks it down so that just a common person can understand it, and just having us aware and just conscious. We have tools, we have resources, we have life books, we have coaches, we have community, we have Facebook. Whew, so good, so good. So thank you, Jamie, for sharing, and thank you everybody for being on. Next week, we're going to go into element 17, and element 17 is good because it's about starting to get into motion. So if you're in that part of your journey where you want to start exercising or working out, or it doesn't even have to be exercising, just getting into motion, join us next week, element 17, how do you become a perpetual motion machine? So that's going to be good, and looking forward to going over that as a group as well. So good. So at this time, we are going to transition. Thank you guys all for being here. We are going to transition into our coaching community call. So if clients, if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. We will encourage you to stay. But the second half of the hour, we meet and we huddle as a group with our coaches so that we can huddle together, share our stories, our wins, our victories, get to know each other, and how we can become better coaches and go out and help more people. So thank you guys all for being here. We're going to transition into that for our coaches that are here. And if clients, if you guys want to stay again, you're more than welcome. If not, we will see you next week, next Tuesday. So good. All right, cool. All right, so you guys, welcome to our coaching community call. I did promise our leaders in this group that we're not going to go the whole half hour, because we have a lot of stuff going on right now, coaches, right? We have every morning, Monday through Friday, we're on for 15 minutes. We're waking up early. We're jumping on at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're doing training. We're doing action steps. We have a lot of stuff going on in our own personal lives. For those that were on the call right before this one, we had a coach training of new systems and things we're going to be doing. So we have a lot, which is amazing because it just goes to show, just as clients, we have everything we need to be successful when it comes to our personal health and our journey. As coaches, I don't think we lack in training. Like, I think we have enough resources, tools, and training and support to show us how to go out and impact as many people as we want to help, and to build, a duplicatable business to, create whatever it is you want, whatever it is, whether it's income, whether it's time, whether it's purpose, fulfillment, accountability, we have it. There's no lack of it. So with that being said, what I wanted to do just for the time we are together, we won't go into no training today because we have a lot of training we're on every single morning. Who was on this morning? Was that Carol? Did amazing. Oh my goodness. Carol did amazing this morning, teaching us and showing us how to develop a sponsoring mindset. So for coaches, if you're in that decision group, if you missed that, go back and watch it. If you haven't knocked your action steps out, use this time to go knock out your action steps before you go to bed. But what I think we'll do is we'll just spend a few minutes, just maybe as coaches, we'll just take some time to share. If anyone has any wins, any victories in their business, we would love to hear from you. Any new clients that's having success, we would love to hear from you. If you're partnering with some new coaches that are having some success or that you're excited about, we would love to hear from you. We would love to hear from, I don't think we have any brand new coaches. I don't think we have any brand new coaches on right now. But if there's any, if there are that I'm missing, we would love to hear from you. And then we'll also maybe take a few minutes to, if there's any takeaways or breakthroughs or shifts or from our decision group, you know, maybe you're applying these action steps and it's working for you. And you, because of the action steps or because of the training or something you've heard, you know, this week or last week, anything, we would love to hear from you. And if you guys can share it, we love to hear it. This week's been amazing. Barbara did amazing talking about discouragement, disappointments so far. I appreciated that one. And Carol did amazing on mindset. Both of those trainings were all about mindset. Both of them. Barbara did great talking about the mindset of discouragement. And Carol did great talking about the mindset on why we sponsor. So good. So you guys, let's hear it. Any takeaways, any shares, any wins, any victories, anything that's going on with you and your coaching business, we'd love to hear it. Barbara, is your hand up? Go for it.
Okay, so I have two. They're not here, so I'll just speak for them briefly. One client I had last week, she spoke about how she was disappointed because she didn't lose any weight. I think she had gained a few pounds. So anyway, when we checked in on Monday, she actually lost 6 pounds. So, you know, when she was talking about something else, I said, you lost how many pounds? So I asked her, how did she do it? And she said, just by, you know, following the program, you know, eating my fuelings and drinking my water. So it was really exciting because she was so discouraged the week before. You know, she's still having problem, I guess, being, you know, with her bowels and stuff like that. But I couldn't believe just in 1 week. So I was telling her, you know, prior before that, you know, you have to follow it. Maybe she wasn't weighing things correctly. Maybe, you know, she wasn't weighing the protein. But either way, she lost her 6 pounds this week. And I was very excited about that. The second one I had, she's new. You just wasn't, nobody was introduced to her because she doesn't have Facebook. But she's one of my co-workers, prior co-workers. And she started Monday. But she called me today because she's diabetic. She just take one pill to tell me that her blood sugar is low. So I asked her, what was it? She said it didn't have the reading. So I don't know what type of machine she's using, but she just said it was low. So, you know, I gave her instructions on what to do. And I did ask her, though, did she contact her doctor? She said, no, she didn't tell him what it was, but I had given her the information. So for all those that they have clients that are diabetics and stuff like that, make sure they talk to their doctors. Until their doctors. I had told her on a couple of occasions, and I said, you did not talk to your doctor. So anyway, I gave her, told her what to do so she can get it back up and check it, you know, within an hour just to see what it's doing, at least if it says that it's back up since there's no numbers. And hopefully now she'll know that I told her to contact her doctor tomorrow because she's just on one medicine. So, but the point of it is though, her sugar level dropped within 1 day. So I just thought that part of it was fantastic, but I wasn't happy that she did not contact her doctor to let her doctor know what she was doing because he may have to take her off of the metformin, and that's all she was taking. But anyway, we'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to share those.
Love it. Love it. So good. Thanks for sharing that, and congrats to your clients. Doing amazing. I did actually, one announcement I did want to bring out. For those that were on the call that we got to jump on Karen Ellison's group, how cool is that we're all coming together? And in the over 5 years, 5 years since July, I've been coaching. We've never done this. We've never, Jamil gotten with everybody in his group with Karen, Becky. So that was so cool. So I'm really excited about this and what we're doing. I'll get with the leaders in our group and kind of figure out what we're going to do about the timing, because I think that call is going to go every Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And it's going to go an hour. So I don't know if we'll just do what we did today, you know, go for 30 minutes, jump out into our call, and then go back and watch the playback, or we'll push our call out 30 minutes. And while they're doing that, not have a coach huddle. I don't know. We'll get with our leaders and figure out what works best for the group and moving forward and what we want to do. Because I do think that's going to be something we're going to be a part that we're a part of. I think it's going to be good and very beneficial for our group, and really having more people to keep us accountable to help us grow and our business just explode over the next few months. So look out for that, guys, and we'll talk more and discuss that. But Carol, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. This wasn't what I was going to say, but I'm going to say this first. Is that yeah, that meeting was incredible because it just went right in the skill set. It was not a whole bunch of mindset, a whole bunch of shoulds, and none of that. It went straight into skill sets, and I really appreciate having that new little add-on about the 3 commitments on your health assessment, because if you can get people to commit, I think it's going to make a big game changer. They know straight up front, this is what you have to commit to do. And for those who haven't seen it yet, I don't want to confuse you, so just watch the replay. It's really good. And I was torn between staying and going because they went into breakout rooms to practice. It's kind of like, for me as a witness, it reminds me of what we do. We get the little template of sample conversations and then we practice them. So that's kind of what they were doing. I just thought that was so cool. But anyway, to your question, what cool things. So I am really loving the coach app, and I really love the jot forms. My shift has been just to ask everybody about coaching. So I've been doing that. Still haven't had anybody say yes, but I'm working on it. It's like my new mindset. So I'm thinking it's going to kick in if I just keep working. The action steps I think are really cool because I'm not sitting there trying to think, what am I going to do today? I know exactly what I need to do today. I just need to do what you said do. And if I do what you said do and keep doing what you say do, at some point it's going to kick in and people are going to reach out. So because of that, I have 2 job forms, 2 health assessments. One I just got today, and one I'm gonna have tomorrow from the person who tried to get me to buy some more of my hair product, which I absolutely love. So I probably will end up buying some, but that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, and I feel like she would make an amazing coach. If not, she's got a huge following, and I'm looking forward to being able to utilize her peeps. So yeah, I love it. And I love the little 15, I love the short trainings so much better because you can pop on and just do that. And we're just learning one little skill set every day. And I'm hoping everybody's getting the replays because every day you're getting poured into. And little bit of knowledge, just a teeny little bit. And that's all you have to do is work on that one thing. So it's going to be great when I can get some more coaches and I can start training them my new way, which is a whole lot better. I really like it. So that's my thing. Oh, and just one client thing. My one client that's been on my, that the brother that started, he is down 40 pounds. He went out, we had hospitality. He was able to go out and hang out with people. He used to could barely get up. Sometimes he could only make it to Jamie knows, he could only make it to the back of the Kingdom Hall and just sit in the chair in the back. I looked up and he had one seat that he could fit into. And it was the very front seat of the Kingdom Hall, one seat. If that seat was taken, he would sit in the back in the chairs that didn't have arms. So I looked over and I saw him in the middle of Kingdom Hall. I was like, what's he doing over there? It was like weird because he's not where he's supposed to be. But he's fine. He did some work for the disaster relief. I was like, what? He couldn't even walk. So yeah, this is why we do what we do. And every day that I think I don't want to quit, I think about those things and the people that we're helping, and not just like, oh yeah, okay. And the check, that check kind of helps a little bit too. Just saying. That's
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about the checks. Those checks come in every single week, and they're pretty helpful. They do help a little bit, just a little bit. So good, very, very nice. Thanks, Carol, for sharing. Anybody else? I did want to, you guys go ahead and put your hands up. But while we're waiting to hear from you guys, Carol mentioned the jot forms. If you guys are not in the coach app and use those jot forms, you guys, I would highly, highly encourage you guys to start using those. Flora has been using them a lot, especially for the health assessments and the coaching one. I've been sending out those coach assessment, coach Explore call jot forms before I get on those Coach Explore calls, and it just makes the calls a lot quicker, easier. There's a little video in there, it's amazing. So if you're not using it, I would highly encourage you guys to get into the Coach app and create your jot form for your health assessment and your Coach Explore calls. And what's so cool about the jot form, I mean, the Coach app, is it literally walks you step by step by step on how to create your jot forms. You send, before you do a health assessment or Coach Explore call, you send these potential candidates this link. They fill out most of the information that's already on the health assessment, so that when you get on the call, it does not take the place of the health assessment. We still get on and do the call, but now once they get on, we can focus on the pain points. We can focus on their why. I like doing those for the Coach Explore calls, because now I don't need to get in there and explain program and all that stuff, because there's a video that explains that, and I can just focus on what they've already told me, and then I can just apply how coaching or our program can benefit and help them in what they're looking for. So it just makes it so simple and easy. So it's a great tool and resource that's available to us, you guys, to make this thing just so simple and easy, to help a lot of people and build your business. Stanley, go ahead. We'll hear Stanley, Jamie. Then if no one else, then we'll wrap up, guys.
Oh man, we could wrap up now, bro. Don't. I just want to say, you know what, man, that Coach app is amazing. I'm so happy that we have that tool, man, because it's really taken any stress or anxiety I could possibly have. It's like, man, how am I going to do this, man? All I got to do now is just click, copy, paste. You know, the links. You know, I've been using that jot form tool, which has been great. Actually, I like to get that done. I say, hey, can you fill this out before we talk? And now that helps with the conversation a great deal. And I'm enjoying our morning calls, even if, you know, very seldomly I'm on live, but sometimes I just and I get your little messages, hey, turn your camera on. I get them, you know, but man, I'll be late in the bed sometimes. But anyway, I'm listening. And the action steps it really just helps us improve in the business. So this is one thing I really appreciate just about making a decision to become a coach, is the fact that we get this type of guidance. And it's not like in corporate, right, where you only get so much help because they don't want you to do better than them, so they're trying to keep you down. No, it's like everybody wants to let me uplift you. You take this business as far as you're going to take it. It's really up to the person, right? So it's up to me of how successful I am, right? And that's what I appreciated too. So far, speaking of success, so I mean, really, you know, my clients has increased. I've accumulated a few more clients, but I've also, my nephew is one of them. I want to thank you, man. I know you were talking about him on that video you posted, but you know what? I'm excited for him. I'm really excited for him to come in and start coaching. That's his main thing. He wanted to come in. So I've accumulated a potential coach, and in due time, once he experiences the program, he'll be coaching. He'll be right here with us. Young guy. So my thing was like, okay, you know, he's young. Let me help him to be business oriented at a young age, because I didn't get that. And then you get stuck in corporate America for years, right? And really, but I'm like, you know, trying to teach him something different. So I'm really trying to work within my family.
Love it. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. And it was good meeting him too. I'm excited for him too. If he decides to jump on, and, you know, from a young age, again, I share this with him. I wish I had this type of training, community support, education, just wealth of experience and knowledge when I was I probably wasn't even ready to accept it. I probably had it, but just wasn't mentally ready. But it's so cool that he's at that age, you know, ready to just accept it and learn and get into entrepreneurship. It's good. Love it. Jamie, did you have something you want to say?
We can wrap up. I was just gonna second, third, fourth, fifth about sending those jot forms out, because my biggest problem was I do this I get on, and by the time you're like trying to pull things out of people, those health assessments were an hour, if not longer. And I couldn't, I struggled to get it down to that 20 minutes. And these forms have gotten me to 30 minutes. I still haven't gotten to that 20-minute mark, but I'm working on it. So I love them. That is the coach app. Like I second what Stanley said. This was needed. Huge thing.
Yeah, love it. So good. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, guys, so we'll wrap up here. I'll get the recording up. Jamie, thanks again for bringing that element alive. I'm definitely like, I'm sending that recording to every single one of my clients because it was so good. And the way you just narrated, your voice was just so amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I want Jamie like narrating every single element. And just bring it. Yeah. Jamie.
No. Like I said in the chat, look, the secret is the baby's asleep in the next room. I had to be quiet. And
So-
I looked at that list and I said, you know what? This is my last one for the year.
So if anybody gets sick, and you want, we know who to call. So good. All right, you guys have a great night. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow for the decision. Oh, I do want to throw this out there, you guys, the accountability. I was talking to Full this morning. I said, what happened to the accountability partners? We started off so well and then it died off. Accountability partners, wake up, y'all. Go call your accountability partner out and let's get back to it. We only have, a week and a half left into that. So let's finish strong. It's not about how you start, but how you finish. So let's finish this series off strong. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next week and in the morning. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.